Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. I'm the perfect crocheted Santa for this season. Whoops. Had a little too much eggnog. Hi guys, it's Katie from Yarn Society, and if you're new around here, I've been crocheting for the last 10 years, and I absolutely love amigurumi, and I love sharing these patterns with you. This little guy is a no-sew, so his beard is crocheted along as we make the pattern. He's about 3.5 inches tall, not including his hat, and he is made up in super bulky chenille yarn. We're going to go through the supplies, and then we will move on to the pattern. For this pattern, I used Premier Parfait Chunky yarn. It's a chenille yarn, super bulky, number 6. And this one is in cream, and then I used white, poppy for red, and black. Okay, we're going to grab the yarn that we're using as the skin color, and we are going to start by making 6 single crochet into a magic circle. Usually, if you watch my videos, I usually start with a Slipknot chain 2 and make my magic circle from there. But for some reason with this yarn, it just doesn't seem to work for me. So I'm going to do an old school way that I used to like to make my magic circle. I do have a video for this, and I will link it down below, and it goes slow. But for this video, because in its advanced beginner, we're just going to make 6 single crochet into a magic circle however you'd like. And if you need that extra help, you can pause the video and check out that video down below. So here I made 6 single crochet into a magic circle. I'm going to tighten up the middle a little. This yarn is very delicate, so it can snap, so just be careful. I'm going to grab a stitch marker. I like to place mine on the last stitch of the round, but feel free to place it on the first if that's what you like to do. For round 2, we are going to make our single crochet increase in each stitch around. Get your hook underneath both loops of that first stitch and make 2 single crochets. Move over to your next stitch. We're going to make another single crochet increase. Move over, we're going to make 1 more single crochet increase. Move over for another single crochet increase. Here's another increase. As we go on through the pattern, I'm going to call the single crochet increase just an increase. Here is our last single crochet increase of round 2. From here, we're going to have 12 stitches. Go ahead and change your stitch marker. I'm going to try to tighten this up a little bit more. Just be very careful. For round 3, we're going to make a single crochet increase in the first stitch and a single crochet into the next, and we'll repeat that sequence all the way to the end. So here we have a single crochet increase. Move over for a single crochet. Then we're going to repeat the sequence. We have a single crochet increase. Move over for a single crochet. We have another increase. Here is our single crochet. Then we have an increase. Move over for a single crochet. We have another increase. A single crochet. Then here's our 6th and final increase of this round. And then we'll end with a single crochet. At the end of round 3, we're going to have 18 stitches. Go ahead and change your stitch marker. For round 4, we are going to make a single crochet increase in the first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2, and we'll repeat that all the way around. Here is our first single crochet increase. Move over, we're going to make a single crochet, and then move over for another single crochet. Now we're going to make an increase. Here we're going to make a single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1, move over, 2. Here is our another increase. Single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1 and 2. Here's another increase. Single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1 and 2. Your work starts to turn in on you a little bit. You can go ahead and just turn that back out. We have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 2. And then here's our final increase, single crochet in the last 2. At the end of round 4, we're going to have 24 stitches. Change your stitch marker. For round 5, we are going to continue increasing. So we're going to make a single crochet increase, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Repeat that 6 times around. Here is an increase. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to make another increase. Single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here's an increase. Single crochet in each of the next 3. Here's another increase. Single crochet in each of the next 3. Here's an increase. Single crochet in the next 3. Here's another increase. Single crochet in your last 3 stitches. At the end of round 5, we'll have 30 stitches. Go ahead and change your stitch marker. For round 6, we are going to be making a bobble stitch for the nose. And if you don't know how to make that, I'm going to go a bit slower, but we're going to begin by making a single crochet in the next 11 stitches. I'm going to let you count your 11. Here is my 11th single crochet. From here, we're going to go under both loops and we are going to make a bobble, which is essentially 5 double crochet that we don't finish. So we're going to start out by yarning over, placing our hook under both loops. We're going to pull the yarn through, yarn over, and go through 2 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over again. We're going to go underneath the same stitch. This is our second time. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, this is our third time going underneath the same stitch. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, this is our fourth time going underneath the same stitch. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, this is our last time, our 5th time. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. At this point, you have 6 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all 6 loops. From here, we're going to single crochet into the next 18 stitches. So go ahead and crochet until you reach your stitch marker. Just don't forget this little stitch here next to your bobble. At the end of round 6, we're going to have 30 stitches. You can pop out that bobble stitch, and this will be your nose. And you can go ahead and change your stitch marker. For round 7, we're going to be making the beard. So we're going to be doing a color change, and we're also going to be building the beard under here and working in rows. We're going to work the beard outwards and then connect it back to our head. I'm going to talk you through all of this, so don't worry. The first thing we want to do though is grab 2 stitch markers or something that you can just mark a stitch. And we are going to mark the back loop only of stitch 9 and stitch 16. So go ahead and count and find stitch 9. Place your stitch marker on the back loop only. And then find stitch 16. And then place your stitch marker on the back loop only. Okay, from here, we are going to go on with our cream yarn for the first 8 stitches. When we get to our 8th single crochet, we're going to pause because we're going to change colors to white. Here is single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and on our 8th one, we're going to stop here when we have 2 loops on the hook. Go ahead and grab your white yarn. I'm going to get set up with my yarn and then hold it here with my hand and continue the single crochet. So now I have my 8 single crochets in cream and I'm starting with my white. From here, we're going to single crochet into the front loop only in the next 8 stitches. Here is 1, going under the front loop only, single crochet 2, 3, 4, 5, still going under the front loop only, 6, 7, and here is our 8th front loop only single crochet. Going to cut off this cream yarn because it is going to be getting in my way, so we'll do that. From here, we're going to start building out our beard. I'm going to be chaining 1, turning our work, and working in rows. We are going to chain 1, turn our work, like turning a page. Then we're going to make 1 decrease, single crochet in the next 4 stitches, and then end with a decrease. So here is my first decrease. Then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. This is 3 and 4. And then we're going to make another decrease. Chain 1 and turn your work. We're going to make a decrease, single crochet in the next 2, and then a decrease. Here's our first decrease. Single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then end with a decrease. Chain 1, turn your work. We're going to make 2 decreases. So here we have 4 stitches left. We're going to make decrease 1 and then decrease 2. We have 2 stitches. We're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to make 1 decrease. We have 1 stitch. We are going to chain 1 and turn. And now we're going to make an increase in that 1 stitch. So here's 2 single crochet. Chain 1 and turn. We have 2 stitches. We're going to make an increase in each stitch. So here's increase 1. Move over. That second stitch gets a little tough, but just get in there and then make another increase. Chain 1 and turn. We have 4 stitches. We're going to make an increase in the first stitch. Single crochet in the next 2. So here's single crochet 1, move over, single crochet 2, and then we're going to place an increase in that last stitch. So get your hook underneath that corner stitch and make an increase. We have 6 stitches. We are going to make a chain 1 and turn. We're going to make an increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 4, and end with an increase. Here's our increase. single crochet in the next 4 stitches, and then end with an increase in that last stitch. We have 8 stitches. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to single crochet in the next 8. Okay, we're done chaining and turning. We are now going to take this weird little beard and connect it back to our head. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a stitch of the beard. I'll show you here. We would go under a stitch of the beard, both loops, and then we would go directly into the back loop only that we marked. Then we're going to go into those back loop only stitches in between our stitch markers. So we're going to start in our stitch marker and end with our stitch marker. So that's 8 stitches total. Those can be a bit tough to see, so you might want to identify them before you start crocheting. So I'm going to place my hook into that first stitch, both loops. And I'm going to place my hook underneath that back loop only that I marked with my stitch marker. I'm going to pinch that together and then make a single crochet. I'm going to take out my pink stitch marker. I'm going to place my hook underneath the second stitch, both loops of the beard. And then I'm going to find that next back loop only stitch and then connect with a single crochet. Here's my third stitch of the beard. Go underneath my third back loop only, single crochet. Here's our fourth. Here's our fifth. Our sixth. Seventh. And our 8th stitch. So we're going into our last stitch of the beard and then working into that marked back loop only. We're going to be changing colors on that last single crochet, so you're going to want to pause. So once you have 2 loops on the hook, we are going to grab our cream yarn and we are going to attach that back for our head. So pull the cream yarn through. And now we're going to single crochet underneath both loops in the next 14 stitches. I'm going to let you count. Okay, this is our last stitch. We're going to change our stitch marker. We have 30 stitches at the end of round 7. So here we can flip our beard down. We have our nose and our beard. For round 8 through 9, we're going to continue on with the cream yarn. We are going to single crochet in the next 30 stitches, and I'm going to do this one with you because I want to show you how we're going to continue on working in this beard. I'm going to get rid of this white yarn, just cut it off because we don't want to get confused as we continue on. Okay, we're going to single crochet in the next 30, so just start crocheting into that cream yarn. I want to thank you guys for crocheting with me. You know, I always appreciate it. I feel like you're with me right now as I'm doing this. I hope you guys like this pattern. I know the beard is just a little bit weird, but I thought it was kind of cool because it was fluffy and it gave him some personality. So after we work into each stitch of our cream, we're going to kind of flip our beard back down, and we are going to work into those 8 stitches of the beard. So you're going to go under the both loops here and just single crochet in each of those 8 stitches. Seven and 8. And then you'll finish up with single crocheting in the cream stitches, and I believe it's 14 stitches to end. I always wanted to make a Santa. I just never could really get him to be what I wanted him to be. So when I was working on this one, I just thought he kind of looked like a little Nomi elf or a Nomi Santa. So I thought he turned out pretty cute. So I hope you guys like him too. Okay, so we're at the end of round 8. We have 30 stitches still. Go ahead and do single crochet in the next 30 for round 9. And then we will meet back at the end of round 9 because we are going to make a color change on that last single crochet of round 9. Okay, here's round 9. I'm about to go into my last stitch. I'm going to continue on with my single crochet, but I'm going to pause when I have 2 loops on the hook. I'm going to go ahead and pick up my red yarn. I'm going to change this up a little and just show you guys if you want a different way to attach your yarn, you can just make a little loose knot. Pull it down and then you can make the knot a little bit more secure. So here we're ending out our stitch with the red. And now for round 10, we are just going to single crochet in the next 30 stitches in our red yarn. There's going to be no color change at the end of this round. So you can just single crochet all the way around for round 10. And then we'll meet back at the end of round 10. Go ahead and cut off that cream yarn if you haven't already, just so it doesn't get in your way. At the end of round 10, we still have 30 stitches. For round 11, we're going to be doing small bobbles, and we're also going to be doing color changes. So I'm going to talk you through this as we go. So have your cream yarn nearby, because we're going to be color changing. We're going to be single crocheting in the first 6 stitches. We're going to make our color change on that 6th stitch. Here's single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here's our 6th single crochet. We're going to pull this through. We're going to pause. When we have 2 loops on the hook, we're going to grab our cream yarn and then we're going to pull our cream through. For the next stitch, we're going to work into the front loop only and we're going to make a small bobble, and that's essentially 3 double crochet that we don't finish. So we're going to yarn over, go under that front loop. This is our first time. We're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over again, and we're going to go underneath the same front loop. This is our second time. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. And then we're going to yarn over, go underneath that same front loop. This is our third time. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. When we have 4 loops left on the hook, we're going to change colors. So we're going to drop that cream and we're going to grab our red. And then you're going to pull it through all 4 loops on the hook. From here, we're going to single crochet into the next 11. So I'm going to let you count 11 stitches. We're going to be making a color change on that 11th stitch. Okay, I'm hitting our 11th stitch here. I'm going to pull through my red, and when I have 2 loops on the hook, I'm going to drop that. You can either cut your cream and attach it, or you can just leave a lot of slack on there and pull it through while it's still attached. But make sure you give yourself a lot of slack because we don't want it to be pulling once we're ready to stuff. So pull through with your cream yarn. For the next stitch, we're going to work into the front loop only, and we're going to make a small bobble. We're going to yarn over, go under the front loop. This is our first time. yarn over, pull through, two loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over, go underneath that front loop for a second time. Yarn over, pull through, two loops on the hook. Yarn over, this is our third time. And then you can yarn over and go through two loops. We are going to pause here when we have 4 loops on the hook, and we're going to pick up our red again. And then we're going to pull through with our red. We are going to single crochet in the next 11 stitches, and so that will be up to our stitch marker. So you can go ahead and do that. And I'm getting pretty tangled here, but we're going to get rid of this yarn. At the end of round 11, we're going to have 30 stitches. Let me cut off this cream because we don't need that. I'm just going to pause and grab another stitch marker just to secure my working yarn. You're going to pop out your bobbles. Don't forget about those. Those are his little tiny hands. And then you can grab your 14mm eyes. We're going to place those next to his nose. So we're going to look between round 5 and 6. One side of the nose tends to be a little bit too far. So you might notice that one side you'll leave one stitch open, and the other one you might need to put a little closer. Yeah, so this one side, I need to I can't leave a stitch open. I have to go a little bit closer to the nose. Okay, so I like how that looks. I'm going to attach the backs. When you have it how you like it, go ahead and do the same. Okay, once we're all settled with the eyes, we can go ahead and take out that other stitch marker. And if you haven't changed your stitch marker, go ahead and do that. For rounds 12 and 13, we are going to be single crocheting all the way around in the next 30 stitches. So you're going to start with your red, end with your red, and just stick with that. Do round 12 and 13, and then we'll meet back. Okay, just finished up round 13. We still have 30 stitches. This is what we're looking like right now. The beard won't keep flopping up. I just keep pushing it up while I crochet. So it will stay down. We are going to do round 14, which we are going to do some bobble stitches for his feet. And we're going to be changing colors again in black, but we only have 2. So we'll be doing that together. We're going to start out by single crocheting each of the next 6 stitches. Here's single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on our 6th stitch, we're going to change color, so go slow. When you have 2 loops on the hook, grab your black, and then I'm just going to pull this down, and I'll pull through with my black yarn. For the next stitch, we are going to make a front loop only bobble. So that is essentially 5 double crochet we don't finish. So we're going to yarn over, go under that front loop. This is our first time. Go through 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, go under the front loop. This is our second time. Yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over, go under the front loop again. It's our third time. Yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over, go under our 4th time. Yarn over, go through 2. And then yarn over, you can get your hook under there. This is our 5th time. It gets a little tight. Yarn over, go through 2. We're going to pause. We will have 6 loops on the hook. It's really hard to see in my black yarn. So make sure you have 6. And then we'll yarn over and pull through with our red yarn. Now we're going to single crochet in the next 12, and then on your 12th stitch, we're going to change colors. I'm going to let you count. Okay, I'm hitting my 12th stitch. I'm going to go ahead and pull through, have 2 loops on the hook, and I am going to cut this black yarn. I'm going to go ahead and get set up, and then I'll finish off this stitch with the black yarn. Okay, now we're going to make that front loop bobble stitch again. So remember, you're going underneath that front loop only 5 times. Yarn over, this is our first time. Go through 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, this is our second time. Yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over, this is our third time. Go through 2 loops. Yarn over, this is our fourth time. Go through 2. Yarn over, this is our fifth time. And we'll go through 2 and then we'll pause. I have 6 loops here. I'm going to pick up my red. I'm going to pull on this black. If it gets a little bit loose, you can pull on that. And then we will pull through with our red yarn. We're going to finish off with 10 single crochet. So you can single crochet in the next 10. And then we only have 4 rounds to go and we're done with the body anyway. We can make his hat next. I'm getting a little tangled, so I'm going to cut my yarn. Feel free to keep going or cut if you need to. Okay, at the end of round 14, we're still going to have 30 stitches. Go ahead and pop out those bobbles. So satisfying sometimes to just pop them out because they're hard work. We want to see our hard work. So there he is. He's kind of coming to life here. Go ahead and change your stitch marker. On round 15, we are going to make a decrease and then single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and we'll repeat that all the way around. I like to make an invisible decrease, and if you don't know how to do that, I have a video and I will go slow for the first one. You're going to place your hook under the front loop of the first stitch, directly under the front loop of the second stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through. Single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here's another decrease. Go underneath the front loop, the next front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 3. Here is another decrease. Under. Can feel a little weird. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Single crochet in each of the next 3. We're going to do another decrease. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Decrease. Single crochet in the next 3. And then our last decrease. Single crochet in the last 3 stitches. At the end of round 15, we're going to have 24 stitches. You can change your stitch marker. You can start to stuff here, but I'm going to do one more round and then stuff a little bit more. For round 16, we're going to make a decrease, single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Here's our decrease. Single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's another decrease. Single crochet in the next 2. Here's a decrease. Single crochet in the next 2. And then I'm going to let you count a decrease, single crochet in the next 2 until you reach the end. Okay, at the end of round 16, we're going to have 18 stitches. I'm going to grab another stitch marker just to keep my working yarn in check here. And then I'm going to go ahead. I don't have the biggest hole here, so I'm just going to grab a handful of stuffing here. And I just kind of like burrow a little hole so that I can fill the hole. And that helps him to not look lumpy. So I'm just going to kind of smooth him out on top and just add a little bit more to the middle. I want him to sit flat, so I'm not going to overstuff the bottom. I'm going to make sure that I have room to crochet. And we have one more chance to add a little bit more stuffing. We can get set up again and move on to round 17. For round 17, we are going to make a decrease and then a single crochet, and we're just going to repeat that around. Here's our decrease. A single crochet. Make another decrease, and then a single crochet. I'm going to let you count a decrease and a single crochet till the end. We're at the end of round 17. We have 12 stitches. I'm going to be a rebel here and just add some stuffing even though my yarn isn't secure. You can go ahead and secure it if you want to not lose it. And I think that's it for me. I'm not going to overstuff. I'm not an overstuffer. I like it to be pretty smushy. So do what you like, and when you're happy, we will move on. Okay, for round 18, we are just going to make 6 decreases to finish this guy up. Here's our first decrease, our second, and I'll let you decrease around. Okay, that's our last decrease. I'm going to take out my stitch marker. Go ahead and leave a long piece of yarn. We are going to fasten off. We're going to yarn over and pull our yarn all the way through. And then I'm just going to tighten that up. We're going to close this guy up. I'm going to grab a yarn needle. I linked these down below if you guys are interested for your thicker yarn. And I'm going to find my 6 stitches. So I know here is my fastened off. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It might not be the easiest to see with my yarn. But we're going to get our last stitch. We're going to call it our first stitch. And we're going to go behind the front loop only and pull through. Here's our second stitch. Go through the front loop only. Here is our third. Our fourth. Fifth. And then our 6th stitch here. We want to close this shut, but we also want to keep our eye on this hole that's going to close up because we eventually want to place our needle in there. So just go lightly, close it up. You don't have to pull too hard. And then I know that my hole is about here. I'm going to place my needle in there, weave it through, and then just give it a little bit of a pull to close it up. You don't have to go too tight because it could snap. I've definitely done that. Got a little crazy with the yarn. Okay, we're going to weave our yarn through, and then you can just give that a snip, and we're done with Santa. So we can freshen him up a little. Go ahead and grab a yarn needle and you can fluff out his bobbles. Okay, we're going to start with the hat. We are going to make 4 single crochet into a magic circle. I'm going to try the Slipknot and Chain too. I'm going to see how it works out because it just never worked out. So, you know what? There's a first time for everything. So I'm going to make a slip knot and I'm going to chain 2. Here's 1 and 2. I'm going to make 4 single crochet into that second chain from the hook. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so I'm just going to get my stitches out here. I'm going to grab my stitch marker, place it on my last stitch of the round. Seemed to work okay so far. Let's see. So I'm counting 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'm going to skip over this big stitch. I think that's what ends up being my problem here. I'm going to be working into this stitch here. And for round 2, we're going to make an increase in that first stitch, single crochet in the next 3. So here is an increase, single crochet, increase. And now I'm going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. It's a little hard to get under there. So here is single crochet 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we have 5 stitches. I'm going to go ahead and change my stitch marker. So you may need to keep pulling your yarn the right way because it does want to turn in on itself, especially when we're only increasing in such small numbers. For round 3, we're going to single crochet in the next 5 stitches. There's 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, okay, that did happen. That little funny bit happened. So that's okay because we're going to put something over the top. So that's not a big deal. But that technique works perfectly with worsted weight yarn. I love that technique. But for some reason, it doesn't work with the Chanel. It doesn't like Chanel for some reason. Okay, for round 4, we're going to single crochet in the next 4 stitches, and then we're going to make an increase. Here's single crochet 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we're going to make an increase in that last stitch. Go ahead and change your stitch marker. We'll have 6 stitches at this point. For round 5, we're just going to single crochet around in the next 6 stitches. So single crochet around. And those are the first 6 rows that are just a little bit tough. Now we're going to start increasing and it'll get easier from here. This thicker yarn is hard with those small increases. At the end of round 5, we're going to have 6 stitches. We're going to change our stitch marker. For round 6, we're going to increase in each stitch around. Here is our first increase. Then we have our second. Our third. Our fourth. Here's our fifth. And our sixth. At the end of round 6, we'll have 12 stitches. For round 7, we're going to single crochet in the next 12 stitches. You can count. I'm going to let you count your 12 stitches. At the end of round 7, we'll have 12 stitches. For round 8, we're going to make an increase in that first stitch and a single crochet into the next, and we'll repeat that sequence. So we have increase in our first stitch, move over for a single crochet, then we'll do another increase, move over for a single crochet, we have an increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, here's an increase, a single crochet, here's an increase, and end with a single crochet. At the end of round 8, we're going to have 18 stitches. For round 9, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 2. Here's an increase, single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's another increase, single crochet in the next 2, increase, single crochet in the next 2. Here's an increase, single crochet in the next 2. Here's an increase, single crochet in the next 2. And then our last increase and single crochet in the last 2. At the end of round 9, we're going to have 24 stitches. For round 10, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 3. So here's an increase, single crochet in the next 3, 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 almost done. Here's another increase, single crochet in the next 3, and then our last increase, single crochet in the last 3. Okay, at the end of round 10, we're going to have 30 stitches. For round 11, we are going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 4, increase, single crochet in each of the next 4, here's another increase, single crochet in the next 4, and then I'm going to let you guys count your increase, single crochet in the next 4. At the end of round 11, we are going to have 36 stitches. I'm going to grab another stitch marker because we're just going to add our faux white pom-pom on here. Go ahead and grab a long piece of your white Chanel yarn. I'm going to add my yarn to my yarn needle. Go ahead and insert your needle up through the top of the magic circle. And now our magic circle looks a little funny. If you did it my way, it might look funny. And if it worked out, I mean, let me know what I did wrong. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back and forth through my top layer, and then I'm gonna change direction and go the other way. Once you have that top kind of covered, I'm going to go the opposite way and just go over a few more times. If you don't want to be fiddling around with this part, you could always grab a white pom-pom and just use some fabric glue or stitch it on. Okay, once you're done and you're happy with that, you can go ahead and weave in that white piece of yarn. Okay, now that we added in that little white poofy part, now we want to pull our hat down because this won't naturally stay that way. I'm going to grab a piece of the red, and the worsted works really well too, but I'm just going to grab what I have. I'm going to go up right below that white part and pull that through, and then I'm going to just pull this down and see where I want to go, and I'm going to go into the stitch here. I'm going to pull both of those pieces tight, and I'm going to go through one more time. Make a double knot here. I try to make it as tight as I can so that it holds down the top of the hat. We are going to get set up again and then change your stitch marker if you haven't already. For round 12 and 13, we are going to be single crocheting in the next 36 stitches. So you can go ahead, single crochet around for round 12. And then you can also single crochet around for round 13, but we are going to make a color change at that last stitch for round 13. So we'll meet back and I'll show you that. Here's our last stitch of round 13. I'm going to pull it through and then grab my white yarn. Go ahead and connect your white yarn and then pull that through the remainder of your single crochet. Okay, at the end of round 13, we still have 36 stitches. For round 14, we are just going to single crochet all the way around for 36. So just do that together here. I am recording this on November 12th, and I just put my Christmas tree up today. And it feels kind of weird, to be honest, but we have people coming in town, and I wanted it to be Christmassy for them. But I usually don't put it up till the day after Thanksgiving, so it feels early, and I feel like I'm going to be tired of it, but hopefully not. I do love Christmas, and I love all the decorations, but I'm like the person that it's January 2nd, and like I want it gone. Like I want to start fresh and new, so we'll see how this extra like 2 weeks pans out. I am curious. I mean, I feel like some people do start decorating like November 1st now, so maybe it's not even that weird, but you'll have to let me know when you guys decorate for Christmas. Okay, we're at the end of round 14. We still have 36 stitches. I'm just going to cut that yarn off. Change your stitch marker. We're going to slip stitch in each stitch around. So just slip stitch all the way around until you reach your stitch marker. I always feel like it's hard to get into the slip stitch mode when you've done a zillion single crochet. So just pull that yarn all the way through and continue that all the way around. I have a little polar bear coming up next, and I'm hoping to get that up before the end of the year. Let me know what you guys are looking for in the new year. I'm a little lost in direction. I do want to make a lot of these pocket pals in worsted weight yarn because I know some of the numbers change and things don't add up. So I'm thinking about doing that, but let me know if you guys have any questions that you need answered, if I can help. I'm going to cut off and leave a little bit of a tail, and I'm not going to fasten off. I'm just going to pull this yarn through. I'm going to move over a stitch. I'm going to go underneath both loops, and then I'm going to go into the stitch next to it and just go down the middle. And then I'm going to weave in all these extra pieces of yarn on the end here. Okay, once you have everything weaved in, you can cut up all those extra pieces. And our hat is ready to go on Santa. So he kind of does like a little side look here. And he's getting all spiffied up for Christmas. He looks handsome. Thank you guys for joining me on this crochet along. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a very wonderful holiday season, and whatever you celebrate, I just hope you have lots of love with family and friends. And thank you for being here with me this year. No matter if this is your first pattern or your 10th, I just really love you guys and appreciate your support. Hopefully I'll see you for one more video before the new year, but if not, I wish you all a happy new year as well, and I'll see you next year. And don't forget to stop over at yarnsociety.com to grab any of the free patterns.